What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So if you guys are new here, I'm Hugo. I'm a 7-figure dropshipper and a 6-figure per month SMMA owner. I talk about dropshipping, and also guys, I post a lot on my Instagram, so please do give me a follow right now. It's at Hugo Fitzo, so you guys can also DM me if you guys have any questions. I'll be more than happy to reply to you guys and just share some advice or some insight on what I have. And yeah, so I really appreciate you guys, but without further ado, let's continue with the video. So this is a very highly requested video. This is how to price your SMMA services in 2022. So most of you guys here are probably dropshippers and even SMMA owners. I really like to dive into really how to price services and how to charge your clients properly. So let's dive right into the Miro board and take a look at some of the graphics I've been doing. All right, so there's a really cute little fish here. So what I start off here is a salmon client. So I like to call this either a fish or a salmon client. Most businesses actually fall in this range, most e-commerce businesses that you'll be reaching out to. So these typically you charge them 500 to 1.5K per month. And later on in the video, I'm going to be talking about how to actually determine how much you should charge people. So this is actually how I separate my own clients for my own agency. So I put them into separate categories. There's salmon, there's different types later. I'm going to show you down the line right here. So usually we start off by using a retainer model. So when I first started off the agency, I was only charging performance fees. I was not really confident in my skills to generate results, and that actually reflected how I charge clients. So I should be actually pricing higher and charging them a retainer straight off the bat if they're not doing too well. So these are clients which are doing around 0 to let's say 20, 30K per month. I would classify them as salmon clients. So it really also depends on your service. So these clients, they typically are very, very desperate for results. They're coming to you with a really deep urgency. So this is not necessarily a good thing. Yes, you can solve their problem and you might be confident in your skills to solve that problem for them, and it might be a perfect fit, but they're very desperate and they might be very buggy clients down the line. They might also message you every single day. This is what happened to me, so this is from personal experience. But never charge pure performance from the beginning for these clients. Always charge a retainer and then add a performance, let's say 10% of your email marketing revenue or 10% of your increase in ROAS if you're doing Facebook ads, but it really depends on what service you're including. If you're a consulting business, then of course you can charge a bit more, but if you're done for you, then maybe you should do around 500 to 1.5K per month to start off, and this is the salmon client. So let's move on to the next one, which I call the grouper, which is a bigger fish. You guys can search it up, it's actually kind of a scary fish. But usually agencies that are profiting around 10 to 20K per month, they tend to fall in this range. They tend to be charging 2 to 4K per month retainer. That's purely retainer and plus a percentage performance. Let's say for Collabio, you generate some sort of results for them, you take a percentage cut of that, or you do a ROAS deal if you're running ads. And having case studies will definitely help that. And this really adds more value to your service, so actually adds more credibility. But case studies, as I've mentioned in my previous videos before, you don't have to have them in order to get clients, so don't let that be a limiting belief. If you're just starting off, don't let that scare you, okay? You don't need case studies to get your clients, okay? But it does help if you're start trying to sign clients and you're willing to charge them 2 to 4K per month. And close a few per month, and that actually leads to a very comfortable lifestyle actually. Just be careful when scaling, guys, because once you sign, let's say 3 to 4 clients per month, next month you sign another 3 or 4, it's kind of hard to manage all of the emails and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to hire people. So make sure that you have your foundation straight for your agency, so it makes it really easy to scale down the line. So now let's move on to the next one, which is a shark client. And I just wanted to remind you guys that scale does not equal to more capital to spend. So what do I mean by this? So a lot of businesses, let's say they have 20 to 30 employees. You might think it's a very big business and they've scaled it up, but it does not mean that they're profiting. And that does not mean that they have, let's say 8K to spend on a retainer for an agency, right? So make sure that you have that belief out the way as well. So just because they're a big company does not mean that they have lots of money to spend on you. Okay, so let's say you check online and you check on their website, oh, they have 20 employees. Oh, cool. They have enough money to hire 20 employees. So let's charge them, let's say 8K per month. You gotta judge off their, let's say you're doing email marketing. You have to judge off their email list. You have to judge off how much ad spend they're doing, how much traffic they're doing. You kind of have to have these kind of metrics to, kind of judge and gauge how much you should be charging them. And we'll be talking about this later on in this video. So this is a shark client. So it's 4 to 8K per month purely retainer first. and you can charge a percentage of the Klaviyo revenue generated, or you could also do a percentage ROAS deal. So we're talking purely retainer here, guys, so 4 to 8K per month. And this is actually most of where my clients are at the moment. I'm tending to want to, charge higher prices down the line, but for now, I'm starting off with 4 to 8K per month, sign 3 to 4 a month, and you're good to go, guys. You're good to scale. And a lot of agency owners are actually really comfortable with actually just having 2 to 3 clients in this area, in the shark zone, 2 to 3 shark clients. You decide whether or not you're comfortable with having 2 to 3 clients, but if you're like really hungry to make 100K per month, then maybe try sign on a few other clients that we'll be talking about in just a sec. But always position yourself as a partner, guys, not just an agency. So this does not just apply to the shark clients. Even if you're working for the salmon or the small clients, always position yourself as a partner. Like, you bring us on, we'll be there for you always. We're not just here to handle your ads and just not respond to you, let's say if you have a website problem, Always be there for your clients, and make sure you're kind of more like a friend rather than an employee, right? That also gives you that extra perceived value, and also makes the client see you as an authoritative figure. And also, like, a lot of agency owners do provide these services for the shark clients, so like ad services, email marketing, website improvements. But I tend to see that, for the salmon businesses, a lot of agencies are doing like Instagram posting, growing their socials, and they're usually charging 500 to 1.5K per month, in retainer for that. Usually when you're charging for ads and email, like doing emails for them or doing ads for them, I usually tend to charge more. So if you guys are doing, helping businesses, make their feed look better, make post Facebook to grow their socials, then I think that the max you could probably charge is, let's say, 3K per month, because there's no like kind of visible or trackable return on ad spend. So I really like to, go for the services which clients can actually track how much you're making them. Therefore, you can actually charge more, right? So that's kind of the idea there. So for my own agency, what I do as well for these shark clients is I do daily/weekly check-ins depending on when they want to book a call. So I have a Calendly link. I send it to them and be like, yo, you can book a call with me or my team anytime you guys want for consulting. Like if you want help on, let's say, your Facebook ads, if you want help on like how to increase website conversions, I actually include that as a service too. And you guys could do that too to increase your perceived value and also increase your prices, right? So that is the shark client. So let's move on to the whale client. And this is the kind of client that every single agency owner wants. All those guys are like, oh, I just want to deal with whale clients. They're so chill. They just pay you and they don't really message you. They only message you like once or twice a month. I want those clients, right? They're all like that, but it's not as easy as it seems. Though there is some truth to that. Like, they tend to be more chill clients, and people who tend to pay more, they tend to like kind of trust you more and actually tend to put in the work more because they actually put in more money, right? They tend to want to like work with you. They're more eager to get results. So like, therefore they're more eager to pay, right? But on the flip side, if you're very eager to get results and you're only willing to pay like 1.5K per month to an agency, I don't think you're gonna put in the results. Like, I just honestly think that you're just gonna be like from a client point of view, like, I'm just gonna be like, I want this agency to get all the results for me. But for whale clients, they tend to like to work with you to get the results. I think they tend to find that more satisfying. But that is just from my experience. So usually the retainers here are usually 8K per month retainer plus percentage performance fee plus a ROAS deal. So these are typically really big e-commerce businesses, and I'll kind of go through how we can actually find that out in the next section. So these are like whale clients, and a lot of you guys should be aiming to get whale clients, but you guys should probably start off with either a shark, even salmon, and a lot of agency owners actually start working for free first and slowly build that client database out. And you lose clients along the way too, like they only sign them for 3 months, 6 months. So you shouldn't be too attached to every single client, although you should over deliver for every single one of them. So yeah, so let's move on to the next section, which is the similarities between every single client here. Is that on your side, you must always over deliver. Like, you must always deliver more than you promised and never promise more than you can do, right? So always make sure that they're happy. Always make sure that the thought of, oh, I'm gonna fire this agency next month after these results, or after they got me this results. They should never have the thought of firing you. They should always have the thought of, okay, if we leave this agency, what are we gonna do, right? You gotta have that kind of mindset. So make sure that to always deliver to your clients, and make sure that they'll be heartbroken if they leave you, right? Or if you leave them. So the power is always in your hands, and you have to keep that power. Cool, yeah, so now let's talk about how do I price? So there are a few questions that I wanna ask you guys first, and actually these are a few questions you should also be asking yourselves. is what's your value proposition? Why should you charge more than other agencies? Or why should you be charging this certain price? So let's say you're an agency owner running Facebook ads for a client. Why should you charge, let's say, 4K per month for a shark client? If you were an e-commerce business owner, why would I hire you? Why can't I not just hire someone for, let's say, 3.5K per month? So use your industry experience or use your market experience to like leverage clients and leverage your prices. So for me, I have case studies of my own stores. I have case studies of clients. Those, of course, are not necessary, but they add some sort of perceived value and therefore allows me to charge higher prices. But it's also to do with how you speak, your tonality, how you present yourself, how you dress. All of these stuff add together. Little things actually add up, all right? So make sure that how you speak, you're very well spoken. Okay, if you're not a really good speaker, if you tend to, I'm honestly not the perfect speaker myself. I need to work on my skills too. I'm working on my sales training at the moment. I actually work on it every single day before bed. But make sure that you get your tonality right as well during the sales calls. Make sure they view you as an authoritative figure, someone to look up to, someone who could lead them, because all people want to work with someone who knows how to lead, who knows how to run a business, who knows what they're doing, right? If you're just some dude like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run the Facebook ads for you, and that my price is 2K. Like, yeah, bro, like, nah, that's not a cut it. They can see right through it, and they can see like the lack of confidence in you. So you should have confidence in yourself before every single sales call, before every single meeting. You need to have confidence in yourself. Make sure that you should always believe in yourself, that you'll be 100% able to guarantee them results. And also, what I like to do before every single sales call is I like to listen to music. Like I listen to really hype up music, like gym music, just to make myself feel like in the zone, and I close my door. I don't want anyone to disturb me before a sales call. Like I actually take like 20 minutes beforehand to actually get myself in the zone, to make sure that my sole focus is on the close and not to talk about how is their week going, how's their day going. The whole purpose of a sales call is to close, and that's what I'm aiming for, right? I need to get in that zone. So don't look at what competitors are charging. Charge purely based on the value you provide to the market. So if you know that you're great at Facebook ads, if someone else is charging, let's say 2K per month for Facebook ads, and you know you're a great Facebook ad like media buyer, or you're just really great at Facebook ads, you can guarantee results, charge 5K, man. Like just charge 5K. Like you know that you're good at it, you have that value, why not charge 5K? Never devalue yourself. Always overprice rather than underprice. So a few things I want to go through right now is that how to actually price your services, right? So what are the metrics that, lead to me pricing my service a certain amount? You can usually gauge these using, how much ad spend they're doing. So you can ask them during a sales call, what's your monthly ad spend like? Or you could also ask them, what's the size of your team at the moment? Are you planning on expanding, right? What's your company history? How long have you guys running your business? If they're on LinkedIn and you're kind of stalking their LinkedIn, are you guys hiring at the moment? Like, let's say like a lot of LinkedIn guys actually have that hiring thing right next to their name, or they actually just post a hiring post. Reach out to them and say, oh, cool, you guys are, expanding your team. You might be wondering on how to, have great team culture at your company. If you guys are agencies focusing on helping other companies build great team culture, that could be, an intro line to them, and, you message them for that. Make sure that you're informed on what they're doing. Kind of look at their Twitter as well. Twitter's a big thing for business owners, LinkedIn, Facebook groups. Take a look at what they're doing and then kind of use that to, start a conversation, or use that to actually just gauge how much you should be pricing. If they're hiring, they most likely have some sort of budget to work with an agency. They might not be open to work with an agency. They might want someone in-house, but you could also message them saying, oh, you guys are hiring someone in-house. Have you ever considered an agency? It might be very selly, but, I've worked a few times, right? So how much would you actually pay for your services? Like, let's say you're like a really great Facebook ads guy. Like, how much would you pay for yourself to run your own business, right? I'd really like to ask myself that question. But generally for the e-commerce niche, a lot to do with how you price is determined in the sales call. Like, you can't just determine straight away right before the sales call, okay, I'm going to charge this guy this much. There's also a lot of information you need to extract from the client or the prospect before you make that decision on the pricing. So a lot of the times I make it up on the spot. Right? So I make it up, okay, judging from that email list, judging from the ad spend, I'm going to charge this guy 4K, right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to charge this guy 2K, regardless of how much this guy has in terms of ad spend, or how many email subscribers this guy has, all right? Never go into the call with a certain amount of price. That's really great for, like a baseline. Let's say, okay, I'm going to charge this guy 2K minimum. That's great, but don't be like, okay, I'm going to charge this guy 3K. If he doesn't like it, it's going to move on. Nah, guys, okay, just have a baseline that you're willing to settle for, and then charge higher depending on the information that we had spoken about here, right? And also it depends on how confident you are that you'll be able to generate results for them, right? If you're super confident you'll be able to generate results for them, charge higher, right? Charge higher. There's no downside of charging higher if you can guarantee them results. And you can also offer them a money back guarantee, right? For the retainer. You can actually say, okay, I'll pay you your retainer back, but I'll just take the performance fee if it doesn't work out. You guys could do that too. But I've never done that before. I do not offer returns and refunds. Most often or not, clients don't ever ask for a refund. Even if they're like kind of like slightly not satisfied, they don't ask for a refund, because the amount of over delivering that you do, as I mentioned here, compensates for all of that. Always over deliver, not just in terms of results, but also in terms of having them as a partner. So just be very proactive in terms of being a partner. Like, oh, I was looking through our website the other day, I wanted to make these few changes, are you cool with that? They really appreciate that. They really appreciate you taking the time. Oh, cool, this guy actually notices stuff. He doesn't just run my ads, he actually notices other aspects of a business. Like, he also notices other aspects of my business which needs work, and he's willing to give me advice on it, and he's willing to talk me through it. I love that. And even if your results aren't the best, they're still willing to stay with you, right? So this is very important, guys. Always over deliver, and the rest just speaks for itself. Like, you can charge higher just because you over deliver, right? So the last point is just how confident you are. If you're very confident, charge higher, okay? Regardless of what other guys or what your friends or what your other agency owners are charging, charge higher if you're really confident, right? So yeah, so that is the end of the video, guys. This is a pretty long video, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this and learned something out of it. If you have any questions, please ask me down below. I can make a separate video or a part 2, but do comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.